A very good morning, students. So, today we are going to discuss our last lecture from chapter number, that is our chapter number 2, biological classification. Today we will discuss three terms, that is virus, viroid, and lichens, right? When we talked about Whitaker's five kingdom classification, you have to just go little back and recall Whitaker's five kingdom classification. There was no mentioning, Whitaker did not mention anything about the acellular organisms. Acellular organism means which those organisms which do not have any cellular organization, right? And in this category there are three organisms. They belong: viruses, viroids, and lichens. Means these are the organisms which are without any cellular organization. Let's talk about viruses first. Term virus, when if I have to tell someone that what is viruses, right? If I have to make you understand very crystal clear that what are viruses, first thing, first line which I always use, that they are non-cellular organization, means they do not have any particular cellular organization. It means the question comes in mind that what does they have then? They have capsid, which is made up of proteins, and these protein, it is known as capsomeres, and these capsomeres, they can be helically arranged and they can be polyhedral. So if you look at the viruses, then these are of two shapes, that is the this kind of thing. One is the helical, as you can see, there is these proteins, capsomeres, they are arranged, and here green color, that is the our genetic material. And then there is another kind of structure which is the polyhedral. So protein shape is of two types. It can be helical, it can be polyhedral. And genetic material found out is of also two types. It can be RNA, it can be DNA in the viruses. So definition should be very straight, clear to you, that viruses, they are non-cellular organization, right? They are acellular. They are not having specific any cellular structure. They are having capsid and the genetic material. Genetic material, either it can be RNA or it can be DNA. If those viruses which contain RNA as the genetic material, very straight away you are going to call them as the retroviruses. So retroviruses are what? Those viruses which contain RNA as the genetic material, right? Normally, what do we say? That DNA is there, right? From DNA store the genetic information. From DNA, genetic information is transported to the RNA, right? And mostly it is the messenger RNA. Then it is expressed in the form of protein. That is what we even discuss in 10th class also. That is the basic central dogma, basic concept of traveling the information, that from DNA information is traveled in RNA and then into the protein. But now we are saying that here is we are having viruses which are having RNA as the genetic material, right? So it means if RNA is the genetic material, it will first change. It cannot be directly go into the protein formation. No, it first change into the transfer the information to DNA. Then DNA can change into RNA, mRNA, and then is the protein. So normally DNA to RNA transfer of information is known as transcription. But now because we are reversing the process, and that is why the process is known as reverse transcription. Many times students they get confused here ki why. See, there is a protocol of transferring the information, and that flow is DNA to RNA, RNA to protein. This flow is never from directly RNA to protein. So if those organisms which have a genetic material as RNA, they first convert themselves into the DNA and then to RNA, then to the protein. So that process is reverse. That is why it is known as reverse transcription. But normally DNA to RNA, it is known as transcription, right? So enzyme which play very important role in this process is known as reverse transcriptase. This is very important part for us. We have to pay attention here that reverse transcriptase is used for this reverse transcription process, right? Most of the plant viruses, they have RNA, usually single stranded RNA as the genetic material. Animal viruses, they are mostly having DNA, which can be single stranded also or double stranded also. Viruses, they are obligate parasites. They survive only in the host cell. They do not survive outside the body. They need a host cell, to survive. So when they get host body, they are able to reproduce there. So they reproduce, they form their further multiple copies inside the host cell, right? So if you now the definition is clear to us that they are non-cellular organization and they are obligate parasite. Genetic material, it can be RNA or it can be DNA. Now let's go to the little historical background of your viruses, the scientist's role. The term virus, from where does the term actually originate? Term virus means venom. Venom means poisonous fluid, right? And this poisonous fluid, this term was given by the scientist Pasteur. After Pasteur, in 1892, Ivanovsky, what he did, he recognized few microbes, and he said these microbes, they are very very smaller even than the bacteria, and he recognized them from the tobacco mosaic infected plant. So basically he said whatever these organisms are, that time they were not knowing about the viruses. They said whatever these organisms are, these microbes are, they that can cause mosaic disease of tobacco, right? So these small microbes, smaller than even bacteria, that which can cause the mosaic disease of tobacco, that is known as the viruses. And this idea was given by DJ Ivanovsky in 1892 after the Pasteur, right? Then comes is there, as you can see, there is the leaf. It is infected with the infected by the tobacco virus. Then comes the Bejernik. In 1890, he isolated fluid. Basically, he isolated fluid from tobacco mosaic virus infected plant, and what Bejernik did, he isolated fluid from tobacco mosaic virus infected plant. फ्लूइड लिया और उसको इन्फेक्ट करवाया उसने हेल्दी प्लांट्स में, उसको इंजेक्ट किया. नाउ ही कॉल्ड देम एज द कॉन्टेजियम वाइवम फ्लूइडम. ये लाइन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है हमारे लिए. सेम एनसीईआरटी की लाइन ऐसे ही उठा के दे यूज इट इन नीट. कॉन्टेजियम वाइवम फ्लूइडम. This is known as infectious fluid, right? Infectious living fluid. This is known as infectious living fluid. So he isolated fluid from the infected plant and then inject it into the healthy plants and call this fluid as the contagium vivum fluidum or infectious living fluid. So these are the few scientists who gave idea about the viruses. Then comes the viroids. Viroids are naked genetic material. This is the basically viroids are those in which genetic material is playing a major role. Theo Diner, he isolated single stranded circular DNA. He said that this is DNA. So viroids are nothing. They are just a single stranded circular DNA. Not DNA. It is the circular stranded RNA. So viroids, they are single stranded circular RNA, and this was found isolated by Diner. He said that these single stranded circular RNA, they are responsible for disease in the potato, right? And then there was the another term which was given, that is the prions. Viroids also given. Then prions are those in which proteins are the infectious part. So basically these are without any organization, without any cellular organization, these are the things in which their genetic material as well as their few like in prions, proteins are infectious, right? So they are nothing any cellular structure. There is the only infectious part which play a very important role. The last one which we have to discuss in this chapter is lichens, right? Lichens, we know that lichens means two main components. Lichens is made up of two main components, and these two main components are algal and fungus. Algal component is known as phycobiont and fungal component is known as mycobiont, right? And we know that what do we know? We know that the algal is usually algae which preferably be in lichens is that is the blue green algae, and blue green algae show photosynthesis process. Photosynthesis mean it can synthesize its own food. So एल्गी क्या प्रोवाइड करती है फंगस को? फूड. एंड फंगस को क्या बेसिकली fungus is what is it's doing? It is providing the shelter, right? It provides shelter as well as absorption of water. So basically both are helping each other. They are living together, algae and fungal, and when they live together, then they are known as, this association is known as lichens, right? So association, this their bonding is permanent and it is known as symbiotic relationship. It is very clear that they live together and they get benefit from each other. And fungus is getting the food fungus is getting the food and algae is getting the shelter, right? So both are getting benefit from each other. One of the major very important point about lichens is they are very very sensitive to pollution. So they are very sensitive to pollution. So they are many times they are used as the indicators of pollution. Now sensitive means, it means wherever there will be a pollution, they will not grow in the polluted area, especially when those areas where sulfur dioxide is very much, they will not grow there. So they are indicators of pollution. So this is all about our lichens, virus and virides, and this is the diagram of tobacco mosaic virus. As you can see, this is the helical structure, right? And these are the capsomere arrangement, and there is our RNA strand, and this is the bacteriophage. Bacteriophage are those viruses which infect bacteria. These are the viruses which infect bacteria, right? It has a very basic structure. It has a head, inside it is DNA, then here is a neck, right? And these are the tail fibers through which it causes the infection. It causes the infection in the bacteria. These are the tail fibers. So these are the two diagrams which are mentioned in our NCERT, and we have to draw these two diagrams. Now quickly, before we just wind up with this chapter, there is quickly, let's revise fungi, because we have discussed 4 categories, 4 classes in fungi. So I thought let's make a table so that you can quickly understand and revise the fungi. You know that hypha, or you can say that is your mycelium. It is very important in class fungi. First, the classes should be very clear to you. Phycomycetes, Ascomycetes, and yesterday we talked about Basidio and Deuteromycetes, right? If we talk about the hypha, Phycomycetes is mycelium is aseptate. That is, you have to remember that फाइकोमाइसिटी, क्योंकि सिर्फ फाइकोमाइसिटीज ऐसी है जो एसेप्टेट होती है. एस्को, बेसिडियो, ड्यूटेरो, दीज आर हैविंग सेप्टा, राइट? दीज आर हैविंग सेप्टेट माइसीलियम. सिर्फ फाइकोमाइसिटीज ऐसी है जिसमें एसेप्टेट होता है. रिप्रोडक्शन, Phyco can reproduce through asexual and sexually. Asco also can reproduce asexually. And Basidio and Deutero, I don't think that if you have watched my yesterday's video, yesterday's lecture, you can very confidently mention that Basidiomycetes, क्योंकि ये इसमें asexual structures absent है, it reproduce only and only through sexually. Deutero asexually. इसमें it is called fungi imperfecti. इसको बोला ही हमने fungi imperfecti इसलिए था because it was not having sexual reproductive structures. So Phyco and Asco, they can both reproduce through asexually and sexually, but Basidio only sexually and Deutero only asexually. Spores. In Phycomycetes, there are two main spores, sporangiophore, right? Sporangiophores, and then there is the zygospores. Zygospores, or they are also known as oospores. Sporangiophore, they originate from the sporangia. Sporangium we call the structure, that is the sporangium, right? कि sporangium जो है वो burst होता है. So here you can write down the sporangium, right? Let me write down it with the... So basically here we can mention the sporangium, right? So there you can mention the sporangium, that this sporangiophore, it burst out from the sporangia, जिसको हम बोलते हैं sporangium. Spores burst out. Zygospore, that is from the fusion of many nuclei. Then Ascomycetes में blastospore and conidium. Conidios originate from the conidiophore, and blastospore, it is coming through the vegetative, because the asexual hai, that is through the budding. And sexual spores are here ascospores, and they are produced by ascus. Basidiomycetes mein we are very clear that the structure is basidium and spores are basidiospores. And Deuteromycetes only asexual reproduction, that is the conidiophore, and the structure is conidium, right? So here you can see that conidiophore is a asexual reproductive structure which produce conidia, right? Conidium or the conidia. Example of phycomycetes is a very famous example which you can keep in mind, that is the bread mold, or you can call it as a rhizopus. And one another we discuss the disease, that is the white rust disease of mustard. It is also characteristic of member from the phycomycetes. Ascome, Neurospora, Penicillium, Saccharomyces, Aspergillus, these are the important member. Basidiomycetes में mushroom, Astilago, Puccinia, as well as diseases rust and smut disease. Deuteromycetes have Trichoderma, Helminthosporium oryzae, and Gibberella fugicori. These are the important examples of this group, right? So this is about your class fungi, which is this table you can draw, right? And this will help you to solve many MCQs in very easy manner, right? So next we will discuss the another new chapter with you in the another